Okay, our last speaker is Councillor Augimeri.
Thank you, Speaker. Firstly, that the item be referred back to the September 12th meeting of North York Community Council, and that the Chief Planner and Executive Director, City Planning, be requested to hold a public meeting to review transportation issues, both air and road impacts within the local neighbourhood. And the others are to reduce the overall density of the Stanley Green District by 400 units, reduce the overall density of the William Baker District by 800 units, and that City Councillor amend Recommendation 9 of the February 17, 2010 report from the Director of Community Planning, North York District, by adding the following. And further, that the Deputy City Manager and Chief Financial Officer review infrastructure plans, funding plans, to avoid incurring unnecessary costs to the city. I appreciate the economic development arguments made by Councillors Kelly and Milchin. And as I was saying, Madam Speaker, when it comes to your communities, I don't think that Councillors Kelly and Milchin and others would sit idly by and see local parkland transformed into high-rise buildings in their communities. I don't think that Councillor Doucette would say, yes, let's build on High Park, because that's what this is. This is like High Park. We're allowing the federal government, we're giving our cities okay to sell off a High Park and build high-rise developments on it. When have you ever considered doing that in your neighborhoods? Look inside yourselves and think, would you do that? I wouldn't do it to you. Why are you doing it to Downsview? Why? Nobody in Downsview supports this. Councillor Pasternak could not find one person in his Downsview who supports this. Councillor Perutsak, Councillor DiGiorgio, me, I could not find one person who lives there who supports this, because no one supports hundreds of acres of parkland being sold for high-rise development. Think about it. We don't have the sewers, we don't have the water structure, we don't have the road infrastructure for it, and you're going to be party to this? You councillors are going to sit here and be party to this? Aren't you ashamed of what happened on the waterfront? Your children are going to be ashamed of what you're doing to Downsview today if you do this. Thank you.
On the referral, Councillor Vaughan, 2 minutes.
Well, I would urge you to support Councillor Augimeri's motion. I don't think it's any different from, in many ways, the arguments that Councillor Min Wong presented about the bridge. When new information comes to light, if this is the principle that some are going to operate by, when new information comes to light, and when land values and city-owned properties are in question and we're not properly utilizing them or exploring our maximum return on publicly held assets, it behooves us all to stop and to get the facts right before we move forward. We've got subway stations being built here. If we don't create the right response to those subway lines, how is the TTC ever going to pay for itself? We need to understand that better. And I may differ on the understanding or the impact or the possibilities around urbanizing the Allen Road, but if we're going to urbanize it, and I understand Councillor Milchin's concerns around not having driveways on it, but if we're going to connect other neighborhood roads to it, I think those neighbors need to understand that. And if you're proposing a significant change to the intensity of the industrial capacity, especially as it relates to aircraft and jets, if there's any contemplation, theoretical or specific, the neighborhood has a right to understand what that means to them. That information was new to all the councillors that have been watching this file very closely. If it's new information to them, certainly it's new information to me. I think we have a chance over the summer to step back, let the neighborhood understand this, and condition it properly with the right amendments when it comes back, and bring it back to full council and move forward on it. There's no development application pending. There's no rush to judgment here. I recognize that this has been a very difficult process. Most large rezonings are. But unless you get it right, the details are what's going to upset the neighborhoods. And let's get it right so the details build strength into the neighborhood rather than detract from those communities. Support Councillor Augimeri.
Councillor Cho on the referral, 2 minutes.
Call the question on referral.
Thank you. Okay, well, you're the last one anyway. Okay, so on the referral motion, recorded vote. you can please take your seats. This is on the referral motion. On the referral motion.
The motion to refer carries 18 to 16.
Okay.
Congratulations, Councillor Augimeri. Victory for your community.